Aquarius. I want to do a little check-in with y'all, okay? This is an Aquarius sun, moon, and ascendant reading. If you are a cross watcher, I don't do that. I don't do that here on my channel. I don't do stalking. I don't condone that. And so you can fucking leave, you know? This is just for sun, moon, and ascendant. That's it. I don't care about the other fucking placements. That ain't got nothing to do with my channel. I'm letting you know. Sun, moon, ascendant, and that's what's up. That's what we doing here. We don't condone stalking. Okay, Aquarius. Okay. So this is a weird, really strange time I feel like to be doing a reading. You know, I don't know. It's right now it's 2:08. Okay, it's 2:08. Now it might be confirmation numbers or whatever, but I really chose to do this like just randomly. It was like a spark. You know, I almost had like this spark of inspiration where it was just like, whoa, like, what is this? Like, I really feel like diving deep right now into somebody. I just don't know who it should be, you know. I had this like inkling that it would be y'all, but at the end of the day, y'all can sometimes give me like false starts. Okay, and I want this to be like a reading of inspiration more than anything. So we'll start talking about that, but we'll kind of like, you'll see what direction we're going off into. Okay, so a false start. More recently, you guys could have had a false start, a false relationship, false mask, false ideals, false workspace, false everything. Like everything could have felt like it was fake to you in some type of way. You know, I feel like plastic designed to break. You know, I kept thinking of like, Aquarius is designed to break a fucking mold. Y'all are designed to break people's experiences up into little itty bitty pieces to the point where they can't even recognize themselves anymore. Whether they base themselves off of ego or base themselves off of religion or base themselves off of what they do for work. It's like you guys are meant to break that mold. That's what I was feeling out. Okay. Now, I heard catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. So some of y'all could be catching somebody off guard. You could be making somebody really scared or petrified or terrified of your gifts, of your power, of your abilities, of your... I think a lot of it is like your ability to speak the undeniable truth. I mean, it's not even like curiosity. Like I kept peeping this person's interactions with you, and this could be like a family member. Most of all, I'm feeling family members for this. I keep peeping this person's interactions with you, and it always feels like they're so confused. They're petrified of you. They're scared of you. They're so confused of the things that you talk about, the things that you understand. It's almost as if an adult is talking to their child, or an adult is talking to someone who's much younger than them. They're teaching a class, and that might also be something that you're doing right now, Aquarius. You could be teaching a class right now. But I think because you're explaining these huge fucking topics, or diving really deep into your spiritual self, your meditative state, your history. Okay, your history, just you as a person. You know, this could be a genetic thing, but I think it's just you as a person, your history, your background, you know, who you was before this and before this and before this and before this, because all of y'all are able to see that. You're able to translate that through your dreams, through your mind's eye type shit, through your subconscious. There's so much that other people don't understand. I think you're kind of just realizing this. I think it's kind of just hitting you that a lot of what we're going to call normal people don't actually process these things that you can process. They can't. They can't admit that there is a crazy world that makes absolutely no sense outside of us. They belittle, or almost like they tamper with their own mind, their own life experience, their own mind eye. They tamper with their shit. They tamper with it so they can't see what's going on ahead. You know, like, so it's an intuition thing, but it's also like a common sense thing. It's like common sense that everything and anything that we see in front of us makes no sense, right? Common sense that like we can manifest things. You know, we can manifest a happening, you know, an experience happening to us. We can manifest these things. We can change like the whole entire tract of our entire existence just on the basis of a whim, right? We can make one mistake one day and fuck up our whole entire life for years and years to come. That, or we can make like a decision. No, I'm gonna just use this as an experience. It's like, okay, you buying a lotto ticket one day. You haven't bought one in many years. You're just kind of like curious about the shit. You're like, oh my fucking god, like, what the fuck is this? I guess I'll get it because it's 100 billion. Like, who wouldn't want to get this type of shit? If I win some, that's great. Win some, you lose some. It's $2. It is what it is. But then you end up winning the lottery. You end up winning the fucking lottery, the $100 billion that you just thought nothing about just a second ago, where you were like, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is, for real. Whatever. You end up claiming that prize. Okay. And then it all gets stripped out from under you. Right? Isn't that just like a human experience, though? It's like we go through all these trips and all these challenges, all of these crazy happenings. Like I love to say happenings to us, because I think a lot of the time we don't realize how out of control that we are, because we want to believe that we fully 1000% we make choices based on what's offered to us, right? We don't make choices on, we don't create everything that's in front of us, right? Or do we? There's so many different questions. Okay, now how does this tie into right now for y'all? Okay, this ties into y'all's influence. Okay, you might be an influencer. You might influence people for a living. You might be, you might have a career in influencing people, or in speaking to people, or in your intuition. There's just so much here that speaks of a teacher, speaks of somebody who people are almost meant to follow. You're a leader in some rights. I think that I think people give you credit, give you credit for what it's due. I think the right people give you credit. Now, there's certain people in your life as well who definitely want to rip you to shreds, rip you off your throne. I pick up on a boss here. I pick up on a father here, a dad. I pick up on a dad, a grandfather, could be like your great uncle, like somebody you just like is so... I want to say it's so just, it makes no sense on why a person like this would even try to conflict with you or start problems or wreak havoc. It just makes no sense to me. I have some receipts here. They're for what though? I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe, okay, so maybe it's you are a habitual person. Okay, Aquarius, even though you're rebellious as fuck, you guys still stay within a habitual life. You're a visionary. Okay, Aquarius, you're a visionary. You're a natural born visionary. You're not a realist. And so naturally, everything that you see in front of your eyes is not as it seems. When many people, especially many traditional peoples, and this could even be your romantic partner that you're dealing with now, many traditional peoples, they just take things as it seems. But you're always guessing, always second guessing, always asking questions. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to them, that's like the worst thing that you can possibly do, is ask questions on something that they think they already know, right? It's a know-it-all syndrome. Know-it-all syndrome. So I feel like you're dealing with someone right now, or you're dealing with this energy in different groups of people that you don't belong in. Because I don't think you really belong anywhere. Does that make sense? Like, we're all together anyways. We can't belong in a group, in a crazy lumped together society. We all belong together anyways. We're all here anyways. This is just that human experience type shit. We're all here anyways. And so I feel like you try to make yourself fit in places that you just can't squeeze into. It's like squeezing into a pair of fucking jeans that just don't fucking fit your ass. I mean, if you a nigga like me, then you gonna wear something that's like 3 sizes too loose anyways. But I'm saying, it's just like squeezing into a pair of pants or a shirt or some shit that just don't fit you no more. Okay? They don't fit you no more. Like, you used to fit like a fucking glove, and now it's like, what the fuck is this? What is this? It make no fucking sense. This shit don't make no sense no more. Like, what Matrix shit is this? This person, they might be speaking a completely different tongue compared to you. It's like, before they made sense, and now you're sitting here like, this person, they have no credit. They have no nothing. Like, I think they owe all of the shit that they've done so far in my life to me. Like, there's so much happening right now. I feel like there's a lot of energy, a lot of emotion coming through, where it's like, I can't believe everything that I've done up until now has been because of me and not because of somebody else. And that's a big difference that you're seeing amongst peoples, right? I think that's a big difference that you're seeing amongst you and peoples. I heard like noises back over here. You know, I have like some of my necklaces hanging up. Something just started swinging. I could hear it. I could hear him back here. Whoever's back here, spirit. I can hear him. Okay, so we have the world. Like, this is this is changing inside of you. You're starting to realize you're starting to make yourself a little bit more important. Now, are you more important than anybody else's life? No, but can you make yourself look more important to everybody else and lead by example? Absolutely. Okay, you might not have had any examples growing up. You might not have had any solidity. You know, I feel like everything was jello. You know, ooey gooey type shit. It didn't make sense. It just like bounced. It always found some fucking way to bounce back. Made no motherfucking sense. Okay, lived a life of almost pure insanity type shit in some respects. I'm not going to say it's literal insanity. It just looks like a very chaotic home space. Very chaotic. People that would try to tear you down every time you found yourself. Okay, that's what I pick up on. Every time you try to build and find yourself, you ended up being teared back down again by, you know, King of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so they would almost project onto you what they, not how they viewed you, but how they viewed themselves. They project all of that onto you in order to try to create like a division inside your head. They wanted you to almost like meld and melt into their experience. I feel like this is also something you're finding in your relationships as well, your romantic relationships, because that keeps coming up. And I keep seeing partners here doing the same thing, like saying the same lines or sentences over and over again. Like, that's what's been going around my mind, is like just spinning in a fucking circuit, like the same saying over and over and over again. Like, you need to be this person for me, or you need to help me. That's something that is very common with substance abuse. If you grew up in a family full of substance abuse, alcoholism, and, you know, different drugs, that sort of thing, it's very common for those people to create a situation where you are the parent, where you are the one that makes really heavy choices. And that's why I said that I feel like y'all thought that these peoples was a huge part of your decision making, when in reality the only one who was making solid decisions for you was you. You know, even in the times where you needed somebody desperately to help you see, they couldn't help you see. All right. So you've been almost like blindsided, or I picked up on Legally Blind. I picked up. I mean, I'm blind as a bat. I'm gonna be real with you. But I picked up on what is she? The woman who's like the legal system. She Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde, I picked up on that. So, I mean, you could be the Legally Blonde type bitch, where like everyone thought you were some stupid bitch, or everyone thought you was some stupid nigga, like just some crazy hectic ass nigga, when in reality you were incredibly intelligent, incredibly smart. You weren't held to any esteem. It's like they had no expectations for you whatsoever. And so the fact that you exceeded every single expectation that was set for anybody else type shit, it was a shock. You know, Wheel of Fortune in the upright. This is all something you're realizing like all right now. Isn't that crazy though? Ace of Cups in reverse. So you had nothing and nobody. You had nobody to look up to and nobody to look back at. It was just like a consistent rolling of the dice, where it's like a randomize, right? You know, when you click like a randomize button in the game and it like randomizes your character, like you had to come out of pocket every single time you dealt with some scenario, rough situation, rough scenario. And I think out of habit and also out of common sense, you know, you used what was, you maybe used a part of yourself that you're not too proud of. Okay, I'm gonna say, you know, manipulation. I'm gonna say lying tactics and manipulation. You used a part of yourself that might have been a little bit darker in order to get what you wanted. And I think that that sabotaged a lot of your relationships, you know, people that could have loved you and people that could have taught you something. It's people that could have held your hand through a lot of this shit. I feel like, you know, you sabotaged on the account of the fact that you was just never, ever, ever taught to rely on anybody else. You were taught to rely on your goddamn self, and that's it. You survived, right? You survived and you built a fucking armor, you know? So when it came down to the nitty gritty about like relationships, about creating something solid in that foundation, it was, you know, I feel like it still is taxing. It's very taxing. We got the magician in the upright. You have to teach everybody everything. Like, that's how you feel. You're like, so I know what I want now, but like, it feels like I have to go through every single person and teach them every single fucking trick, tip, and whatever that I want and I need in a fucking relationship. It's almost as if they know nothing. They feel nothing, or you feel nothing. Maybe you feel nothing towards them. Maybe that's what you got to start thinking about, is like, without them being the exact person that you want, maybe you feel nothing towards them. Maybe, you know, you might like the physical fucking features. You might like the tits and ass or the, you know, dick, whatever. But at the end of the day, do you really love them? Do you really like them as a person? Do you appreciate them as a person? Are they an integral part of your life? Are they? And whatever the answer, if you can't answer that right away, if you can't say yes right away, then you better start rethinking this person's, you know, the time you spend on this person and the time that you deal with this person. Like, you better start thinking about how you try to make this person comfortable around you. Because at the end of the day, if you don't feel shit towards this individual, and you thought you did, there's a problem, right? If you couldn't answer that question right away when I said it, that's a problem. You had to think about it, that's a problem. Right, Aquarius? The Empress in the upright. So someone became single recently, or whether it was single or you just started noticing certain things about the people around you, how stupid they were, how they didn't deserve necessarily, much less. I think you wanted to fight for this idea of like morality, right? Of morality, like, oh my God, I better watch my step. I don't want to treat anyone with any disrespect. I don't want to make anybody feel afraid of me, scared of me, whatever. But I think you, like I say, you rolled the dice and you saw a little peek, I think, into these people's lives, or at least how they treated you and your life. And you was able to deduce that they don't deserve any of your respect at all. You know, there's a what means of like maturity to deal with tackle a situation like that. Like, you don't have to attack somebody. You don't have to call something, you know, be a fucking catty ratty ass bitch. But you can deal with that as an adult and just say you don't give a fuck and continue moving forward. And spend a lot less time on this motherfucker. Spend a lot less time on these family members. Spend a lot less time on this shit. Because at the end of the day, you can't afford to be confused. You can't afford to sit here choosy still after all these motherfucking years, or after all this time that you've been dealing with this romantic partner. You can't sit here and afford to be picky and choosy. You have to move ahead. You have to move forward. That is what being Aquarius is about. It's about fucking, you know, future shit, futurists. Or futurist, bitch. We're the Matrix. I can't stand that Matrix shit more recently. People been oversaying it and they don't even know what the fuck that shit means. It's like, that shit is a fucking movie, bitch. Like, this is a life. You know, we're all living as human beings, and that's what we need to be grateful for. That's what we need to keep living as. We can't keep overcomplicating different things, different chapters. And people overcomplicate their lives and their spirituality and their religion, but they oversimplify their relationships with other things like money and sex. And instead, they can't come. There's no complexity to these people's like emotions. Okay, I picked up on cognitive dissonance, which means they're like completely away out of their motherfucking mind. It's like they're focused on everything else but treating someone right, treating someone correctly. I feel like I said, it's emotional stupidity. There's almost none there, or they have a really underdeveloped amygdala, where it's like they have no emotional content. I keep trying to like find the words for it. But like I said, they have a really underdeveloped part of their brain where they just can't conceptualize like emotional qualities for other people and other human beings. There's no morality there. It's like, okay, so they react when they see someone die in front of them, but more or less because they're feeling more bad for themselves than what they feel for that person. You know, that's not a more moral thing. Like, everyone's going to be a little weirded out, unless you're a sociopath or a psychopath, by someone dying right in front of you. Everyone's going to have some type of reaction, whether it triggers your fear in death, whether you think you are in danger in some type of way, or you're petrified because, you know, that person just lost their life and their family has to see that, and their family has to be told it. You start realizing how fragile in some pieces and parts that life is in your body. You know, there's just certain things that you realize, and I think that somebody feels really bad for themselves around you. Okay. There's a group of people that feel really bad for themselves around you. They don't have that same reaction, that same morality check, that same experience that you have. Okay, they don't have that same shit. Like, when you feel emotionally connected to somebody and you're able to like sympathize with the fact that they have a family, they have kids, they have, you know, a life for the most part. Like, they have these things, and you connect with that because you're able to place yourself in these people's shoes and say, like, that's a human life, that's a human experience. You're able to say that and state that. And these people, there's a complete lack. There's nothing there. Cognitive dissonance is what I'm going to call it. It's all gone. It's all gone. Okay, there's no emotion there. And I think because you have this emotional quality, this morality piece, there's a whole leadership process for you in which you're teaching people to have this part of the brain, or teaching people to exercise this part of the brain. Because if you don't, you lose it for good. Okay, you lose it for good and you become a fucking sociopath, or you all start pity partying and worrying more about yourself than you do, I think, humanity in general. I think that you can help a lot of people by not hyper focusing on all of these trivial things, right? It's like, how about we start working on our mental health? How about we start working on how we interact with other people? And instead of being like fucking cunt bags that focus on religion and plastic surgery and fame and money, the glitz and the glamour, being an alpha and all that this extra shit that people keep bringing up into the fucking mix, that like that ain't got nothing. While it is entertaining, right? Has nothing to do with actual life. When you live day to day, those are not things that you should be focused on. And if they are, you got a problem up in your fucking skull. You got a fucking problem up in your fucking skull. For real, for real. If you care about religion, you care about God more than your own child, you got a fucking problem. You do. You do. That's sad. That's real fucking sad. That shows you have absolutely no humility. Right? People like that have no humility, no self-awareness whatsoever. You're a narcissist. You're self-centered, full of self-interest. That is such a disgusting, that's not even a human being. That's just disgusting, right? And so that's what I keep picking up on, is like, you're disgusted by people. You're just repulsed, completely repulsed. You're like, I don't even want to be here right now, for real. Like, y'all people is fucking disgusting. Look. Y'all, this is what I mean. Y'all are like, this is fucking like, y'all are nasty as shit. The Tower and the Reverse. But this isn't your first time experiencing something like this. I think the Hermit and the Reverse. So you are taking time out. You needed it. You needed to take time out in order to swallow this, to conceptualize, to actually see all of this going down. You needed to take time out. You needed to take time out and say, like, it's almost like an existential crisis. Okay, for real, it's an existential crisis. People care more about themselves than they do, like, it's people they can sympathize with, I guess, or just like humanity, like who we are as people. Like you can say everyone is like that, but that's not true. Okay, I'm not one of those fucking people. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people that, like, I'll take the clothes right off my motherfucking back to help somebody if that situation makes itself known to me. You understand? I'm sacrificial as fuck. I'm an Aquarius as well. So for me to see that type of shit makes me emotional as fuck. It's not because I feel bad for myself. It's not because I'm thinking about death, because I'm not afraid of death at the end of the day. And I don't think a lot of Aquariuses are afraid of death, because we have that natural life experience where we're constantly building and focusing on our future. And so if our future ends in death, we at least go out knowing that we were doing something for ourselves and for our kids, for our children, for our other people's future as well. You know, we're not just doing it just out of the fucking blue. And if you are, you need to revamp that experience. You need to back up, regroup, and think about why you are doing what you are doing. Who are you doing it for? Are you just doing it for yourself? And in that case, there's no problem. But where is the growth? You know, opportunity of growth. Justice in the upright in the magic card. Okay, so you could be dealing with a Libra. But that's life. Oh, they pick up on life expectancy. So someone's life expectancy is a lot lower or a lot higher than what you're thinking. Okay, so maybe if you've been thinking about that recently, where you're like, oh, someone's gonna die, their life expectancy is actually a lot higher than you thought. Or if you're like, oh my god, you know, this person, I swear they're hardy as fuck, it feels like this person's life expectancy is a lot lower. So, you know, there's a lot of discussion about this, like life itself is a fragile flower and shit like that. But at the end of the day, I feel like you guys are able to inflict karma onto those who are well deserved. Like they're well past their point in this, like whatever this is, they're well past their prime. That's what I'm feeling. I think that you're able to conflict with their experience, their life experience. You're able to almost like take away the pity piece or the pity parts of these people, and you're able to ball it up and, like, you know, toss it in their face type shit. Page of Cups, yeah. You're able to, like, speak from a point of view that they've never thought about that shit before. The Star in the reverse. They've never lived a life with somebody like you. They've never had someone like you in their life. Okay, you're like a parent to a lot of people, because we got the Devil card right here, Capricorn. Right, you're like a parent to a lot of people. You are capable of helping people grow. But you got to know when someone cannot grow, when they are stuck in this form. You got to know when somebody just, it's not worth it. It's not worth the fucking sacrifice. If you have to sacrifice yourself to save one stubborn motherfucker, right, that nobody has been able to motherfucking change, right? Nobody has been able to get through to this person. Nobody. Not their mama, not their daddy, not their brother, not this, not that, not this, not that. Not the person that they love the most in the fucking world. You. Nobody has been able to ever change this individual. And so why should you stop your whole entire life in order to change this one stubborn motherfucker, stubborn individual, instead of building up others, including yourself? Because when you start hyper focusing on these people, like I said, who are never ever going to change, you start beating yourself up, because you find that without any success, without that feeling of like being able to help somebody. I think I'm gonna share a fucking video with y'all. I'm gonna have to put it in the description or something, because I just watched a video on this. When you're somebody who attracts narcissists, right? You're actually someone who you conceptualize this worldview of everyone has to care about their lives. I have to show everyone the way and show them how to care and show them how to be emotional and sensitive, and I have to teach them, right? You're a natural teacher, but you're also a natural helper. And then sometimes that natural helper shit is what gets you in trouble, because you start naturally trying to help the people that are, like I said, it's a pity party where they're crying out for help in order to manipulate and soul suck a person. They're trying to soul suck you, bitch. They're trying to soul fuck you and suck you and this and this and that. They are not here for your help. They are here to cry about their experience. They are here to make you feel bad for them. That's their whole entire existence, is to make other people feel bad for them consistently. Even though, like, I feel like some of y'all are like, well, I mean, you know, they do make me feel bad, but sometimes they show me some growth, but then they go right back to being the same person that they was. Then they regress all the way back. You know, when you cut them off, they show you growth, right? When you cut them off, when you completely remove them from your life, they show some source of growth, and they come crawling back and say, well, actually, I've changed my whole entire life, da 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 da. That shit does not happen overnight. That shit does not happen in a week, and it doesn't happen in a motherfucking year. So it just doesn't happen like that. It doesn't. People don't change overnight like that. People don't change in a year like that. It takes many years to conquer some of these problems that these people have. So they will continuously live in this self-pity, crybaby, bitch ass, fucking, horrible ass binging lifestyle. Like where they just sit there on their motherfucking ass, doing absolutely nothing for themselves, except complaining, crying, and wallowing in self-pity. In blaming everybody else for their problems and their issues. That is a narcissist, my love. That is a narcissist. That is not somebody you should be associating with and carrying on your fucking back. They don't deserve any of that. They don't deserve the courage and the emotions that you put forward for them. That they are eating you. That's what you gotta understand. They are eating you alive. Okay, like you some fucking Chinese food, some Chinese takeout type shit. They are eating you up. Slurping you up. Okay? And it's not in a good way. Even if they like I said, even if they are showing you proof, you've already seen the proof that you need in order to conceptualize that these people will not change. They will not move. They are rocks. They are boulders. They are stuck in place for the rest of your in their life. You guys are not friends. Y'all are not allies to this person. Everyone is an enemy to this person, and they will continuously blame everybody else for their problems. Do not become this person on the account of you sacrifice your whole entire life for this individual, and then you end up in a place where you yourself go crazy, and you yourself get scared of all of these people and of all of everything, and you start victimizing yourself. Do not take any notes. Do not continue to deal with this person or deal with this group, deal with this problem. Do not drop it and walk away. Drop it and walk away. I feel like I'm talking to a dog right now, like a curious ass dog who keeps like picking up when a dog picks up a bird or something, but he doesn't kill the bird necessarily. Like he's very gentle with the bird. He's bringing it to his owner, but he knows he's not supposed to have it. And the owner is like, drop it, drop the fucking wild living animal. And he drops it all like, but I was just giving you the food though. I just wanted to give the food. Like, you come from a really good place, Aquarius. You're trying to build in a legacy for many, for all to take from. You want them to take notes, right? At the end of the day, all you can ask for really is just to be left alone. Okay, walk away from the situation and be left alone. And when they come and crawling back and whatever, be able to deflect them. Be able to just say no. No, you are not a part of my growth, and you've already shown that to me. That's it. That's it. Okay, Aquarius, that's it. Now, I picked up on these little hustle cards. They keep talking about divine blessings and money coming in. Huge financial endeavors. Huge financial products. Oh, maybe y'all making products. Projects being realized. Okay, these are huge, like buying a whole company or buying a whole building type shit, buying a whole home. Like, these are really big processes. So wherever you're going from here, I just need you to know, right? You do not need these people cheering you on, these fake ass motherfuckers cheering you on, this one fake ass motherfucker or 5 fake ass motherfuckers. You do not need them. They are victims. That's all they are. And they're going to continue to be victims for the rest of their life because they refuse every single support, every single help. They are a crutch. You realize that? They're a crutch for you because you don't want to see that they are bad for you. You don't want to see that they're a crutch. You don't want to see that they are a person who constantly makes bad decisions on purpose. You don't want to believe that there are people like that out here. But there is. And they are that. All right, Aquarius. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, babies.